Open heart, open mind. Welcome to the Sattva channel, the official platform of the Sattva project. I'm Shara Wong, the co-founder of the Sattva project.
And myself, Samisha Kamble. I'm from Satwa Youth. It is also one of the program initiated or one of the platform initiated by the Satwa channel.
So first of all, I would like to express our thankfulness to our media sponsor and StreamYard partner, Durian ASEAN and Durian FM. And not to forget also a very important person behind the scene, Brother Ray today, our assistant broadcast director. Hi Ray, would you like to say hi to our audience?
Hello everyone, welcome to tonight's meditation session. Please like and share this and let more people benefit from it. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, you can help us grow by subscribing to our channel, like and share the video. Now back to you.
Thanks, Brother Ray. Brother Ray has a new look today, okay? Very fresh and hairstyle, new hairstyle for the new year. Okay, first of all, I think we would like to say Happy New Year, Happy Lunar Tiger, Water Tiger New Year to all of our audience out there. So may all of us be blessed with dynamic joy, good health, abundance, and auspiciousness in all aspects of our life. Happy New Year. Best wishes from the Sattva team.
So today we are going to have a guided meditation with a very beautiful topic: peaceful mind, compassionate heart, and awakening to love, which will be conducted by Venerable Tenzin Dasel. Sitting quietly at home, spreading love and kindness all around the globe. So this will be the sequence. We will have a short talk and then we'll meditate for a while. Then at last we'll have a question answer session and we will conclude the program with dedication.
So first of all, let me give a short introduction about who is Venerable Tenzin Dasel. Venerable Tenzin Dasel is a teacher and meditation instructor at Tashi Gasseling in Maine, USA. She is a graduate in BA from the prestigious Bates College, USA. She has received a degree of Master in Arts from the respected Bangor Theological Seminary, the third oldest seminary in the USA. She has been practicing Buddha Dharma with her root Lama, Khenso Rinpoche, Lobsang Seten, since 2002 and was ordained by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama in 2017. So she's the founder of Main Mindfulness Project USA in 2008. She was a retreat teacher at Tom Samling Institute and Nunnery in 2017, and she had her teaching tours in India, Russia, USA, Taiwan, and the Bahamas from 2016 until 2019. She was assistant to Jesuma Tenzin Pamo from 2019 to 2021, and she's also a receiver of the National Association of Professional Women's Wellness Award. She's a Sattva Pro instructor, INEP conference retreat leader, speaker, moderator, member of the Female Sangha Leadership Committee, and as well as presenter for the Parliament of the World's Religion in 2015 and 2018 for both USA and Canada. She was a meditation leader and presenter for Sakyagita International Association of Buddhist Women in Hong Kong 2017 and Australia 2019. She has been a very active member of the Association of Non-Himalayan Nuns. So let's welcome Venerable Tenzin Dasel.
Hello, everybody. It's my great honor to be here with you in this moment, wherever you are. We're here in Maine, USA, and happy to be able to offer a little program to you that really will help us develop the peaceful mind and compassionate heart. And by doing this, this is how we awaken to love. Of course, I think if you're watching and tuning in, you're already awakening to love right now. But it's a way to use a Buddhist approach into how to cultivate and develop all the way up to enlightenment, our fullest potential as human beings. So I want to, before I give a little talk, just invite everyone now to settle in to where you are, to just take a few breaths, to come into your body. And the way we start our practice is to just really think of the mind as wide open like space and sky. It's clear, luminous, radiant, it's beginningless and endless. and to invite this kind of an open, spacious mind to just settle down into the body. Let everything go that you've been busy with up until this moment. Don't think about what you're going to be doing after this, taking this little time to do some meditation. Just right now, we're just going to sit together as sisters and brothers. And sometimes our cat comes in. Animals enjoy meditation because it's peaceful and they like that feeling. So let's just arrive feeling whatever we're sitting on holding us effortlessly, taking over all of our physical weight, straightening our spine nice and straight, as if there's from the top of our head all the way down through the spine, that we keep this posture really nice and very comfortable, our shoulders open and soft away from our ears. Let the physical body become full of space. Invite the mind that is like clean, clear, pure space to come and settle in. And now take a few relaxing breaths. We'll put the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth so that we use our nose to breathe, relax the belly, soften. And the eyes are almost all the way closed, but I can see in front of me a little bit. I can have them open a little bit just so that I have awareness still of being in the room. It looks to you like my eyes are closed. And I'm breathing in deeply through the nose, down into the whole body, and you do the likewise. If your nose is stuffed, if you can't really use the nose to breathe, then it's okay to breathe through the mouth. But if you can, try to use the tongue on the top of the roof of the mouth behind the teeth, resting it there gently. Then breathing in through the nose into the whole body so that you can feel your belly expand when you breathe in. You're bringing all this fresh breath in. And then as you breathe out, just relaxing. And you can feel the body sink and settle. And after the out breath, after you exhale, you'll notice there's a natural pause. You can just begin to let that pause be there, and the body will breathe when it's ready. You just watch the breath, just enjoying and relaxing into this moment. And right now we can use the breath as a kind of internal massage so you can become more aware, more mindful of the breath moving into the body and how the body expands as we breathe in. Taking in that fresh air and then contracts and settles as we breathe out. Resting. Just here in this moment, just resting. And if it's difficult to hold the eyes almost all the way closed and a little bit open, then you can close them all the way for this practice and just rest. Focusing on the breath, breathing in, breathing out. And then just resting. When the breath is still, the mind becomes still. Now, we're not trying to stop any thoughts. If thoughts arise, that's fine, but it's better to bring the attention back to breath and just let the thoughts drift through, a bit like clouds in the sky. But your focus is just on the breath process, coming in and coming out, and then resting. So let's come out of this beginning settling meditation. That's just a little what's called calm abiding. It's just to help us transition from wherever you are in the world. Some of you are friends in Malaysia at Satva who are hosting this, or in the evening time. You've had a busy day, you've had a lot of activities, a lot of conversations, a lot of movement. And so for the mind, this is, this world that we're in is fascinating, right? We fascinate to many things on the outside through our senses, through our five senses, our eyes, our nose, our tongue of taste, our ears, the sound, and tactile senses. But these are what the Buddha called very coarse kind of sense consciousness. They're senses that get caught up with everything we see or hear or smell or taste and touch. And then we decide we either like it or we don't like it. And this sets our mind swinging between, pleasure and pain. And our mind starts to grasp liking, disliking. And that sets up a lot of tension in the mind. And so when we're doing this breath meditation, what we're trying to do is come offline from those coarse sense consciousness, give those a break. We know those very well. Whether we're mindful of them or not, we don't have to get familiar with them. We're using them all the time. We're watching, we're listening, we're smelling, we're tasting, we're touching. And then, of course, with all these sensations, the mind's developing the sixth consciousness, or the mental consciousness, is creating thoughts, opinions, beliefs. And again, that also creates a lot of activity in the mind. And all these things are a bit like muddy water. They stir up the water. If now you think of the mind as like clear water in its nature, pure, pristine, knowing, without thoughts, without opinions, just a pure awareness. All these activities and all these experiences that we have, all these opinions that we form, all these fears that we bring in are kind of like shaking up, putting mud into that pure water, sediment, because we're concretizing everything. We're making everything solid and seem really real. We're putting all those chunks of dirt into our pure water. And then all of the activities like shaking all that water up, movement, stirring. What happened to the clear water? Well, the water's still there. The mind is still there. Is it peaceful? No, not so much anymore. Is it pure and clean and clear? Its nature is still pure, but we can't see that and we can't experience that because all of the sediment of experience that we've put in has muddied that clarity. So much so that we start to only see this kind of muddied water. But when we meditate, the beginning part of this meditation, the peaceful mind, is that we have to have a practice to come back to the peaceful mind. Without a practice coming back to the peaceful mind, we may not even know what is the peaceful mind. It sounds nice. I'd like to know the peaceful mind. Where is it? What is it? How do I find it? So we use the breath. This is also a technique that the Buddha taught, but you don't have to be Buddhist actually to benefit from this practice. Just some being with breathing awareness, breathing consciousness. that can note itself. So with our breath, we don't have to consciously breathe, but we can become conscious of breath, and we can then change the breath using our consciousness. So if I say right now, everyone take a deep breath. We can take a nice deep breath and we can enjoy it. Now, throughout the day, when we're busy moving here and there, when we're busy eating, when we're busy chatting, when we're busy thinking, we're not busy putting consciousness on the breath. Our body's breathing for us. That's rather kind and good because it's very difficult to multitask and do many things at once. I don't think the Buddha would have been a fan of multitasking. The stories of the Buddha's life and his actual appearance on this earth talked a lot about his serenity, his calm speech, his noble silence, his deep thinking before speaking. So it doesn't give one the impression of multitasking at all. Of course, his mind was able to multitask in every dimension because he became awakened as a Buddha. And so he could see clearly the nature of the beings, and he could see clearly the nature of the difficulties that the beings faced in all of this busyness, which we call samsara. And samsara comes from, three main ingredients, which are ignorance is the first ingredient, which means we don't really know all the time the nature of this mind that's totally peaceful, totally clean, pure, serene, and pure, because we don't know how to find its nature from our daily habituated actions. But there are instructions. The Buddha's teaching of the Dharma gave us very clear instructions, and often the instructions are using the breath of how to connect with this innate, clear light nature of the mind, because we have the breath with us all the time. So in the midst of crazy activity, coming and going, driving through traffic, taking the subway, waiting at the doctor's office, being nervous for an exam, we can always come back to the breath in the midst of our daily activities. It's with us all the time. And so it makes it the perfect object of meditation. Even these days, a lot of studies have been done on using breath meditation for health, that it has a very beneficial, concrete effect on our health. That when we calm the mind by using awareness on breath, here in the United States, a wonderful practitioner, Dr. John Kabat-Zinn, created a technique called mindfulness-based stress reduction program, where people can learn how to use breath meditation to actually tranquilize the mind, which immediately, by using a calmer breath, tranquilizes the heart. It takes the blood pressure down. It brings a natural awareness to how good calming presence feels. And this has immediate benefit for us. And again, as I said, whether you follow a Buddhist path or not, as a human being, you're able to do this. And of course, this is what we want first for all human beings, to find a peaceful mind. The point isn't for all human beings to become Buddhists or to become deep meditators, although they might enjoy that, but to just find peace of mind is the main point to begin with. This is our most precious treasure. We have our mind with us everywhere we're living, in every lifetime, life after life after life, as we believe in Buddhism, that life is beginningless and endless, meaning we've taken multiple lives already and we'll take multiple lives in the future. And the only thing that's guaranteed to go with us is our mind. The body's not coming. We know the body's aging already. But the mind and our predispositions to what the mind is interested in, that propels us. Even in this lifetime, it propels us in directions. Whether they're beneficial or not is up to knowing how clearly we're using our mind, how purely we're dedicating our mind to become very awake, very aware. Are you aware right now of your mind? Let's see, if you're aware, check in and say, yes, I'm aware that I'm aware. And if you're not aware, say, no, I'm definitely not aware. And if you maybe are sometimes aware and sometimes not aware, that's also a possibility. So what is it? What do you think? Are you fully aware? You're not aware? Or you're kind of aware? Well, you're fully aware to a degree. Everyone's fully aware because you're thinking about these questions that I've asked you. So even if you say, I'm not aware at all, it may be true that you're not aware of your mind, absolutely aware of your mind, but you have awareness. You do have awareness because you're able to think about this question. You're able to hear it. You're able to contemplate it. You're able to use your mind to make meaning of it, of these sounds. If you weren't aware at all, that wouldn't be possible. So awareness is there. That's good news. We all have awareness. But the question is, are we aware of our mind? Are we aware of the nature of our mind? That's a different kind of awareness. The nature of our mind has been described as clear, pure, radiant, luminous, non-physical, beginningless, endless. That which knows that it is knowing. So it's awareness of awareness. And that part we may not be too clear about, but we can become more clear. So let's do another short meditation now, and I will guide you to try to find and identify a deeper level of this peaceful mind, of this awareness of awareness. So again, settle into this nice position. And for this part of the meditation, please close your eyes. Again, sitting up nice and straight in a comfortable posture, relaxing the body. Let the shoulders come away from the ears, holding a very straight posture, but very easy, relaxed and alert. Again, finding the breath with the tongue on the roof of the mouth, the tip of the tongue touching the palate behind the teeth. That's the fleshy part of the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. And relax the belly and then take a deep breath in through the nose. And now, instead of watching the breath go into the whole body and filling up the whole body, just use the breath itself as it's moving in. If you're newer to meditation, use your belly as it's moving down below the belly button, the navel. The body's filling up with air. You can feel it filling up, and you can use that place to follow breath, that one point, as it expands, as it contracts, and as it's just still. Or if you have a meditation practice, use the breath as it moves right underneath the nose. There's a slight sensation as we breathe in. Pick one of those two places, and now the object of our meditation is on the breath. And just let the mind become one with the breath at one of those two places, either right under the nose or down below the navel as it's expanding and filling and sinking and settling. So that's our object of meditation. And we're going to put our mind one pointedly. Mind is watching where the breath is coming in, moving out, and then settling. So we're fascinating our mind with the breath now, fixating it there one pointedly. Again, thoughts may arise, sensations or sounds. Don't try to stop thinking or stop feeling. Note that they're arising, but just come back to the one place you've set your mind to focus in the meditation. Just come back one pointedly with your awareness on that place. There's nothing more to do than just keeping the awareness set single pointedly, calmly. And check your posture as we relax into this. Sometimes our posture slips. Keep the backbone straight, the chin tucked down just a little bit so the back of the head and the neck stays open. Shoulders relaxed. And awareness still with the breath. On that one point, anchoring the attention, anchoring the awareness. And now, as we continue this practice, we bring in the compassionate heart. So it's not always easy in life to become still and peaceful. There are so many distractions, pushing, trying to make space in our mind to become the most important thought that we always think about, the most important feeling, the favorite food, the favorite song, the sights that we like to see, the smells that we like to smell, the smells that we don't like to smell, the sights that we don't like to see, the sounds that we don't like to hear, the tastes that aren't very particularly our favorite pleasant tastes, the physical sensations that come, sometimes of blissful joy and sometimes of deep sorrow, and all of the emotions that form around these. We're very busy on these levels. Very often our mind is full and full and full of these experiences. And we believe those things to be the reality. We call them the way life is, but in fact it is not the way life is. It may be the way we are telling ourselves the way life is. It may be the way we're believing the way life is, but we shouldn't necessarily believe everything we think. When we connect with a peaceful mind, we can go looking, where are these thoughts? Where are these other sensations of the five senses that so often are the things that are controlling our mind? Where are they when we sit in stillness and peaceful mind? Now we're becoming more aware of awareness. And as this practice takes time and patience and compassion, we look with a compassionate heart at our own experience, at our own life that we're leading, with appreciation, with joy and happiness, that we have developed interest in cultivating wisdom and compassion, so that our minds are full of wisdom and compassion for the happiness of others, for the happiness of self, for the sake of happiness, one could say. But this kind of happiness is the nature of one's mind. It doesn't really need to depend on these other five senses to continually feel happy and peaceful and aware. The others might enhance it, but the awareness itself is automatically blissful, radiant, clear, knowing. There's nothing really that can be added or taken away from it to make it any better than it already is. And the compassion comes through this awareness that makes choices to both alleviate the suffering of oneself and others, as well as enhance the happiness for oneself and others by using awareness with wisdom and compassion. We are able to create a life of full and supreme benefit as a good human being, as one of nearly 8 billion human beings. Because when our mind is aware of living with wisdom, of karuna, compassion, ahimsa, nonviolence, then our body becomes healthy, our speech becomes pleasant and kind. It's able also to hold noble silence for others' voices to be heard. And no matter what's going on externally, when situations arise that are beyond our control, beyond our capacity to really change, we'll be able to have a mind with awareness and compassion and wisdom to be able to maintain the serenity, this calm abiding. So that when we move in the world to create a beneficial presence through the expression of our life, we'll have beneficial motivation, a pure motivation to be of benefit. Our path will be of benefit, and the results, the fruits, will be of benefit. And even when there are situations beyond our control, because our mind maintains calm abiding, will be of benefit for many, many other minds who don't know about calm abiding. And this is a great compassion to be able to offer this kind of mind to others. This is our highest happiness of the compassionate heart. To be able to take all the suffering of the confusion of the world and stay present to it with a wide open heart of loving kindness and compassion is to be of the highest benefit to all living creatures, especially to our dear sisters and brothers, because most of the problems facing the world these days have been created by the human beings, more so than any other of the life forms. But it is up to the human beings then to solve these problems. But as Einstein said himself, the kind of mind that's created the problems cannot be the same kind of mind to solve them. So most of these samsaric problems in the world today, created out of ignorance, selfish, greedy desires, lust, and also anger, fear, hatred, these have all been created through the human mind, but they are not the nature of the human mind. The nature, as we said, is radiant, pure, clear, non-physical, aware, altruistically loving and kind, altruistically compassionate, altruistically joyful for the benefit and happiness of all others. In effect, as hard and as difficult as the environments become, the mind becomes more serene, more joyful, more capable. And we can think of examples of His Holiness the Dalai Lama or Archbishop Desmond Tutu or the Most Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh as living examples in our lifetimes who were born into extreme conditions of samsara through it, that in their whole worlds were surrounding them with ignorance, greediness, selfishness, desire, hatred, anger, wars, conflicts. And through the Buddha Dharma, they walked the life and path of wisdom and compassion, of the peaceful mind and compassionate heart, with a loving kindness and joy, altruism, giving that away freely to every being that they ever met and encountered. And it even multiplied when His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu came together. Even their joy flourished and blossomed like lotuses were blooming on every single cell. They had so much fun together. This is awakening to our own capacity as human beings. Whether we're Tibetan Buddhist Vajrayana practitioners or Mahayana Buddhist practitioners or Christians, or have no practice of a formal religion. Religion helps in the sense that ethics are grounded in religion, but ethics in the secular sense can go beyond that. And there's not one living creature today who doesn't benefit from a peaceful mind, a compassionate heart, and everyone in the environment together awakening to love. There's nothing more than life wants of these three things. And it's to each of our own lives to be able to bring these out through our body, through our speech, through our mind, to cultivate these beautiful qualities as human beings. In Buddhism, we call it our practice because every time we're aware, we're practicing these three qualities. Every time our mind is coming into contact with the present moment as it is, we're living these three qualities. And anywhere we are in the world, these three qualities, the peaceful mind, the compassionate heart, and awakening to our own embodiment of these as an expression of altruistic love and the sense of loving kindness, will always be wholeheartedly welcomed with open arms. And in those rare moments when it may not be, because it's happening inside of you, even if on the external, there aren't wide open arms greeting you, meeting you, acknowledging you, welcoming you, taking care of you, loving you, saying how great you are. It doesn't matter. It's not about what's happening on the outside. It's that your own heart is meeting everything and embracing life with wide open arms. And generally, in my experience on Walk of the Planet, 99.9% of the time, wide open arms and a smile will come back. And if not, then that's the time to give away the compassion, the genuine altruistic wish. May you be well. May you be happy. So our practice is to benefit oneself in the sense of becoming an awakening example through body, speech, and mind for the happiness of others. And by doing that, the happiness of oneself automatically is returned. But because we are only one and others are infinite, even now almost 8 billion human beings, how much more so to be concerned about their happiness than just our own? But by taking care of our own body, our own speech, and our own mind, we are able then to take care of all the other life forms, just like that.
Thank
So
you,
let's
Venerable.
have some time for some questions now.
Yeah, thank you, Venerable Tenzin, for such a wonderful guidance, meditation guidance. Is there any question from the audience, Ray? I don't think there is, right, at the moment. I have one
No.
question, Venerable. When we talk about love, we always think about mundane love that is always attached and confused. So, and then I heard that there's saying say that only the awakened one can really love, you know. So, what is the difference between awakened love and confused kind of love?
Yep, that's a great question, Sharp. So the difference between selfish love that is attached is about I love you, so I need you to make me happy. Or I love this kind of food, so I want this food to bring me happiness. Or I love this new piece of technology, so this is going to make me happy. It's always a selfish idea of getting happiness for just me. But the kind of altruistic love, it's not just for awakened ones because everyone can love with altruism. The kind of altruistic love that we want to move towards, that really is true love, is I love you, therefore I want you to be happy. I love what you want for your happiness, therefore I wish that for you. I wish for you to have a peaceful mind and compassionate heart, and I wish for you to be awakening to love. Therefore, I'm going to hold that prayer and that wish for you to come into contact with those environments. So it's always a focus on bringing that for the benefit of others. So, to the full extent that it's an awakened love, then yes, it is shifting the ordinary love that's only thinking about me and what I need and my hunger, my conditions, my happiness, my life, the most precious. It's seeing with wisdom that we only get happiness through others. And so it makes much more sense to wish happiness infinitely to others through what's called loving kindness. So in Buddhist practice, the idea of loving kindness through altruism, through selfless wish, means this is the highest happiness. How wonderful if all beings had happiness in its causes. May they have happiness in its causes. May I help them to have happiness in its causes. And then you might pull in, please, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, help me to transform my mind to be able to do this. This is the point of an awakening practice, that we aren't yet in our whole Buddha Bodhisattva capacity to do that, but we're constantly practicing those capacities to be able to bring those qualities genuinely out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you, Venerable. And can you talk also about how to love ourselves healthily and mindfully about the
Yeah.
importance of self-love? Yeah.
Well, especially if we consider the situation on this one planet in this vast, vast universe, how many life forms there might be. To think that we have this precious human life, and now within the context of Buddhism, because every life, of course, is wonderful and valuable, but in Buddhism, in the sacred scriptures, it says the precious human life has 18 qualities. Amongst them means we've done good karma in the past to take a positive rebirth. So it's not just random. As I mentioned Einstein in the meditation, even Einstein said the universe doesn't play dice, or God doesn't play dice, meaning the universe has cause and effect in going into these conditions that we're setting up for ourselves. And so in Buddha Dharma, it says, thank yourself for having done good virtue in the past. It's for that reason you're created in this wonderful human opportunity. And so just knowing that we're not a mosquito, we're not a flea, we're not a dog, we're not a cat, we're not a bird. I mean, there's nothing not Buddhist nature about those beings, but they don't have a capacity to realize, cultivate virtue, to practice awakening all the way up to Buddha's highest insight, which is to become a Buddha for the benefit of all others. So for ourselves, our own compassion should be like, well, wonderful. Yes, I recognize there is a relative me here. There is this body, this form is mine and mine to take responsibility for. My choices in this life definitely impact my happiness. So making good choices based on secular ethics, we can just even talk secular ethics, not harming, not stealing, not engaging in sexual misconduct, not lying, not using harsh speech, not using divisive speech, not gossiping, having a mind not full of envy, not having harmful thoughts, and not holding wrong views means that we can feel confident actually that we have good human capacity to live a life of loving kindness, of joy, developing our qualities, looking at our minds, purifying, and creating environments that are beneficial to oneself and to others. How wonderful that is. Not everyone has that opportunity, isn't it? So we can already feel grateful. We have had parents that have loved us. We've gotten education. We have clothing that keeps us warm. We have a house to live in. We have books to read. We have daily life that's meaningful to us, loved ones around us. We have the capacity then to give out this selfless loving kindness, give out the selfless compassion. And even with an animal, when we pat the cat in a very kind and loving way, even the cat is shows us its happiness and it comes right back to us, right? So we can feel that that benefit is there automatically anytime to be living that expression. And then we can feel really wonderful that we have these capacities. It doesn't really matter if it's with one being or the form of the being. It can be a bird that's trapped, and can't get free, and letting the bird out of a house and the bird flies away. We can feel happy. The bird is happy. We're happy. We can smile to another human being who looks like just a smile might pick them up a little bit. We could cultivate the qualities of our voice so that we recognize our voice is kind, it's compassionate, it's loving. There's so many things with awareness that we can then start to appreciate this preciousness of this life, and that it didn't come about randomly, that many, many, many causes and conditions came into it, and that we ourselves can be grateful for that we ourselves can feel, yes, I have capacity. I can say how wonderful that is. How wonderful that is. Not how wonderful I am, but how wonderful that is that the qualities of my body, of my speech, of my mind have been focused on only benefiting and not harming. And then we can feel confidence that these are the very qualities of our Buddha nature that will help us blossom into the full lotus expression of the awakened mind. And, that is very precious. And to really acknowledge that in ourselves is really crucial. We really need to acknowledge everything that lives has Buddha nature. Everything that has consciousness has a spark of life. Everything is sacred and divine by its own essence in that way. But to be able to acknowledge that and work for the benefit and happiness of the whole, of the collective, that is something we should really acknowledge in our own capacity and take very quite seriously, with joy and with commitment, really. And that is very much worthy of compassion because we created those causes and conditions. It doesn't make us better than anybody, but it lets us know what our goal is, all the way up to the fully enlightened mind. That can be the most beneficial, and that will never end. So we should feel really confident that this is the walk that we're on now. The path at the beginning to be a benefit, in the middle to be a benefit, in the end to be a benefit, and we can feel then, yes, we can check up and say, yeah, actually I'm doing that. I'm being a benefit. That's good. How wonderful that is. And we can rejoice, and we should rejoice more. And we should take our minds away from the bad news of the media and the fear and everything else, and we should just living right here in this moment so that we deeply can touch that nature, because it has to be realized. One has to realize it. It can't be something that you can get through reading books, and the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas can only point the way, but you yourself must walk that way. But you have to walk it with a very healthy sense of a self-confidence that can really embrace that.
Thank you. Thank you, bro. That's a very meaningful and beautiful answer. Yeah. Okay, let's now do some announcement. Okay, Kamle. Yeah.
Yes. So this is the announcement for our upcoming events in February. So on the 7th February, we will be having a dialogue, which will be moderated by Brother Ram, which is entitled "Mistaken View and Misconception About Buddhism." Daily Dharma series, which is a part of Daily Dharma series. We also had a part one, so those who haven't seen it, so watched it, so please visit our YouTube channel. It's there. And on 13th and 20th February, we'll be having two meditation sessions. The first one is by Venerable Sunim, which is entitled No Mud, No Lotus. And the second one is again by Venerable Tenzin Dasel, which is entitled Being the Lotus, a meditation practice to honor the kindness of Master Thich Nhat Hanh. And then on the 27th, we'll be having again one dialogue, which is entitled The Miracle of Mindfulness, Remembering Thich Nhat Hanh. Okay. These are the programs for February. And this is our poster for 7th February's event, which I have, as I've already told you, which is entitled Mistaken Views and Misconceptions About Buddhism. Okay, then I invite Venerable Tenzin Dasel to have a short dedication prayer in whatever language or in whatever way she prefer, and then also Brother Sheriff for reciting the four great vows.
Gangriwa we korwe shinkam dear pendang dewa malu chungwe ne chenrezi wan tenzin gatsui shapezi te bardu ten gyur chi. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezi remain in life till samsara's end. In particular, I pray for the one who knows all the scriptures with the power of his intelligence to have a long life through the power and strength of his mind and his mastery of life in order to benefit the teachings and all beings through his good, wholehearted resolve. Bodhi mind, precious and sublime, may it arise where it has not arisen, and where it has arisen, may it flourish and grow forevermore.
The four great vows. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to save them all. Delusions are endless. We vow to cut through them all. The teachings are infinite. We vow to learn them all. The Buddha way is inconceivable, and we vow to attain it. May all beings be well, happy, and safe.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tenzin.
Thank you, dear
See you
sister and
again soon.
brothers. And to our friend Ray, who's doing behind the scenes today for running this meditation. May all beings be well and benefit, and have a lovely evening, and see you next time.
See you next time. Thank
See
you
you
very
next
much.
time.
My pleasure.
Good night to everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good morning. Yeah, wherever you are.